What's up? What's up? What's up? Computer Love Podcast episode 2.
002. We're back at you.
Hit them with the announcements, babe.
All right. So, first things first. We just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for your views, for your comments, for your ratings, for following us. We just appreciate you. Thank you. Seriously, thank you so much. And if you have not already left a comment, please do so. We really want to hear from you. We really want to know how are you enjoying the content. Let us know. We have our own debates going on sometimes about how we think it is or what we think, we should change or keep going. And so we really want to hear what our audience feels, what you think we should do. What are you enjoying? What would you like to see? And so if you were just we're 100% enjoying it, please go to Apple Podcasts if that's where you listen and leave us a 5-star rating and a comment if you like. And then on YouTube, please comment. We definitely appreciate those. It really means a lot.
100%. And we try to respond to all comments.
And I will say that, this one right here, he be on it, okay? We got a comment, let's respond. We're okay, let's do it. So I'd be on business hours, 24 hours to respond. He'd be on 1 hour. Let's respond. So we definitely do try to make sure that we respond to your comments and let you know that we really appreciate it. Also, I want to go straight into the chat room.
Let's do it, babe.
Thank you. I was waiting for that, right? I was I'm ready to go to the chat room. Hint looks at you can you cue the music, please? So the chat room, if you are not certain what the chat room is, you're what is that? Y'all have a chat room? So our chat room is where you send us messages. You can do that on Instagram by just sliding in our DMs at Computer Love Podcast, our IG page, or you can also send us an email, and you can email us at computerlovepodcast@gmail.com. There is where you can ask us any questions that you maybe did not feel comfortable putting on the chat, or maybe you didn't feel comfortable putting it inside of our on the IG page or sending a direct message. You can email it to us as well. And what happens is on each episode at the beginning, we will go to the chat room, we'll check the message, see what the questions are, and then we'll answer your questions. We are not experts, we're giving you our opinions. Hint, we're giving you our opinion. And so don't say well, they said this is what I should do. We are just giving you our opinions, our experience, and we just want you to live your best life. So
this podcast is for entertainment purposes only.
And it's real. Okay, so it's not made up or anything or whatever. So what happens if we do not receive a question from you? Then we will see a frequently asked question, and then we'll bring that to the chat room. So we do have a question, and the question.
What is the question, baby? What is a chat room question?
The people want to know.
Hit me with it.
The people want to know.
What the people want to know?
They want to know, what do they do? What do you do in the event that you're feeling judged about being on a dating app, or even to say I met my special someone online? People normally don't do that. They don't say they kind of skip that part of the story. It's oh yeah, mutual friend. So what do you do?
Store.
Exactly. So they want to know what do I do if I'm feeling judged, or should I feel judged if someone my peers or my coworkers or family, someone sees me on this app, or someone tells someone else that, hey, I saw Quetta on this app. What she got going on? Should you feel judged, babe?
I think the first thing that you got to do is you have to look at yourself and try to figure out what it is that you feel, what makes you feel bad about being on a social dating app. What is the shame in that? Where would the judgment come from? And why do you feel like you're doing something wrong? A lot of times that could be because the people that you're around. You know, the internet is fairly a new thing. A lot of old school people like me, before the rise of the internet,
Right.
we met girls, girls met guys off the internet. You know, you approached them wherever you were, at school or at the grocery store, or you just drive around you go to the club or to the pool hall or wherever it is, and you meet someone. That's where you met them. And I guess, you know, you always take pride in your generation, right? So
Right.
kind of, there's a little sense of pride. You know, we had to do it the hard way. We walked uphill in the snow, barefoot both ways, right? So there's a little bit of pride in that. So I think what you got to do is maybe just surround yourself with like-minded people. I guess that goes with anywhere in life. So tune into the podcast, get some inspiration. We just had a conversation with a couple yesterday, and they have been married for like, what, 8 years now?
Yeah, 7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah, and they met online. So just really take a hard look at why you feel it's wrong, and just really ask you the questions. I mean, what makes it wrong to meet someone online? You know, people have met people way sketchier places than online.
Right.
You know, so is it better to meet someone at the club than it is to meet someone online? You know, so just rationalize that in your head and figure out why it is that you feel you would be under some type of negative scrutiny. I just don't get it myself. I do know that there is a little bit of a negative stigma when it comes to social media, but hopefully we can destigmatize that, make you feel more comfortable, and show you some love, you know. But online dating is not for everybody. So if there is that stigma and your group of people are just unaccepting and that really matters to you, then just don't do it. There's no pressure here. We're not being paid by Tinder or anybody like that.
Right. Promote us.
Right. So
absolutely not.
It doesn't matter why or how you meet someone. We support you either way. So get it how you live.
Yes. Well, I want to also say to that person that may feel like that, I can understand your thought process, but what I would like to do is to speak to that feeling in you and to say that at some point in life you have to do something for you. You have to do something outside of what other people will think for you. If you know you want a different result, then you may have to do something different because we're in a different time. So how you normally would do things like may not have been working, or because of COVID-19 things may have shifted and you want to try something new, you should be and feel free to do so. Now I want to say something really quickly because this also happened to me yesterday. A lot happened yesterday. Good stuff. But in this, I want to also say to that person that is considering, if I get on here, will I be judged? Someone has already judged you, regardless of if you get on that site or not. People have a perception of you already. Like before they even get to know you, they have this perception, like based on a look or based on like, I don't know, I don't really like how he walked. Like he walked like, you know, he think he's all that, or he walks like, you know, he had a hard life. I don't know. Just different things that people already have like a perception of you. And so for instance, now this is kind of funny, but so I'm driving or whatever, and I was speeding. Didn't realize I was speeding because I normally don't. I feel like I'm like I do the speed limit for real, or maybe 10 miles over. You know,
why were you speeding?
I was on the way to you.
Good reason.
But so it was like 45. And it didn't feel like I was going much over that. But, you know, the next thing I saw, like the cop, and I was like, oh, he's about to turn around for me. So, you know, you get that heart, like your heart drop, it sinks. And it's like, what's really happening here? So he pulls me over. And I'm like, oh gosh, what's going on? He was like, ma'am, you were speeding. And I was like, I apologize. So he says, license, registration, right? So me, I am coming from somewhere. I'll leave where at the end of the story. But I had on a full white suit. Okay. A church looking suit. It was cute or whatever. But nonetheless, it was white. Nonetheless, it looked as if I was like coming from church. And you know, I drive a car. So he's standing up and I'm sitting down in the car. So I also know when he's coming down, like looking down at me, he also sees that I have on full like white pantyhose and I have a white mask. So I know this man is like,
he was whitey out.
She is coming from church. She is the doorkeeper in the house of the Lord. She is an usher.
When he pulled you over, like he saw light glowing out the damn driver's side. He's like, what is this light emanating from the door?
Right. He was like, I'm not giving this young lady a ticket. He's like, if she, her registration and everything clears out, I'm not giving her a ticket. So anyways, he comes back to the car and he's like, ma'am, give you a warning. Slow down. I don't really know what he was thinking, but I am sure.
Fellas, if you know that was us, it would not have went down that way.
Well, all I'm saying is in this essence, in this case, that he probably already had a perception in his mind that she's coming from church. It's Sunday. She's coming from church. I'm not gonna give her a ticket. Like she's serving the Lord. Now, long story short, I was not coming from church. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't coming from church. We in a pandemic. I watch it online. I was coming from a sorority ceremony, which requires wearing all white. However, the reason why I was wearing white didn't matter at that time because he already had a perception. And sometimes I think a little deeper. But it also served to me like, you know what, whatever his perception was, it worked in my favor at that time. But I want to say to that person for this particular episode of the chat room question, people already have a perception of you. Just live your life. You've been living in a ideal way, a good way that works for you, and people have still decided to talk bad about you or to talk good about you. Whatever it is, do something for you. That's all I got for this episode of the Computer Love Chat Room. That's all I got.
Amen. And I'll just close it with this. Those people who are judging you, are they single? Do they have a partner? Take that into consideration as well. There's no shame in you as a single person going online to meet someone. So are they gonna judge you? Yeah, they're gonna judge you, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't even matter. That was real good.
All right. What we got next, babe?
The Computer Love Connection.
Go for it.
So excited to tell you all about this. I think I get excited every time we talk about this. We are featuring a couple. We talked to the couple on yesterday. I think it was a dope conversation. In our mind, we was like, the cameras could have been rolling right now, like, 'cause this was really good. Yeah. So I'm definitely excited to share that. And if you met your computer love online, if you're married, if you're dating, if you're engaged, wherever you are in the process and you would like to be featured, or you know someone that should be featured, please send us the email again at computerlovepodcast@gmail.com. See, I'm all about the Computer Love Connections. I want to see other people share their stories and tell their stories. And if you don't feel comfortable getting on camera, if you would prefer just to submit a photo and we can write up a small write-up about you and share it on our social media page, we're going to do that regardless. But we do we're open to having you on the show and just really conversing with you and seeing, sharing your story, because it's also inspirational for us as well.
Yeah, basically just want it to be no pressure. So if you don't want your face on camera, we can forego that. So
we are here for
you. Watch me, you.
First of all, if y'all are listening, if you're listening and not watching on YouTube, you might want to go to YouTube and just see how we hit the Soldier Boy right quick. But we are going to move on to
the topic of the day.
All
right, that's what I'm ready for. What's the topic of the day, baby?
Tell me it's real.
The feelings that we feel.
Ooh, oh, baby, go.
What's that? Is that Jodeci or?
Tell me it's real. The feelings that I feel.
I don't even know what fucking song we're singing, to be honest with you.
It's real. It's like Casey. Is it
Jodeci or Drew Hill or?
Casey and JoJo.
Casey and JoJo.
Maybe. All right, we're gonna check.
Anyway,
we do this all the time.
What is the topic though?
The topic is, the people want to know, And this is a true question, is can you find like real love online?
Yes.
All right. Part 2. What does real love look like?
What does real love look like? Real love. I'm searching for a real love.
Mm-hmm.
Someone to set my
heart free.
That was Mary.
Mary. Not Mary J. Blige. And let me clarify.
What does real love look like? I think real love looks like sacrifice. I think real love looks like sacrifice. The single mother who is raising her 2 kids and foregoing the pleasures of life for her kids, a sacrifice. That's what love looks like. The wife who is taking care of her husband who's 90 years old and can't take care of himself and is foregoing pleasures in her life, or is finding pleasure in taking care of her man, is sacrificing. I think love looks like sacrifice, and putting somebody else before yourself. I think that's what it looks like.
That's dope. Yeah. I think that is
just varying aspects of that.
Yeah, like sacrifice is an amazing word to pair when you're talking about love, because for me, love is big, like you said, it's sacrifice. So it's like showing up when you don't really want to show up. Love is like an unconscious decision, like when you can choose to still love somebody unconsciously. Like your conscious is saying, oh, nah, I ain't really with it right now. Right. It's because based on this condition, I'm not getting what I want or what I feel like I deserve. But my unconscious being, my unconscious self is still choosing to love you and to still show up and to still care for you and still be who I want to be for you and who you need me to be. So sacrifice is a dope word. And just like love to me, real love to me looks like unconsciously choosing to love someone when you consciously do not want to.
Okay. Can we expound upon that and let's define what love is?
Yeah.
Go first. Hey! Sir? Quit all the stopping, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. What is love?
What is love? I'm going to start by saying love is not a one-word definition. Love is not something that can be defined just straight. Now, if we just want a definition, I say we go to Webster. But I feel like love is an experience. Love is unlearning what you've been taught. Because see, a lot of people don't know what love is because they've never been loved. So you don't know how to love because all you were taught was what love isn't. So now you're trying to figure out, like, what is love? How do I love? So for me to define love is being willing and open to a risk of not even really knowing, will you feel love? Or is love even real? So love is a risk.
Oh, so you're saying that love shouldn't ask for anything in return? Because you said you're opening yourself up to, you might not even get it in return. But if you're only loving in order to get it in return, then that's not real love. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I do agree.
No, I'm trying
and
to
I do
clarify.
no, and I am saying that love, and I guess that goes back to the condition and being unconditional. Because me loving you, even before you said it, was a choice. Not even knowing if I would receive it back. Or if you would be, or if you were going to love me wholly, or love me like in a whole manner. So yes, I definitely.
You love me?
Dad, can I get a help?
Cadence. You cannot interrupt while I'm doing a podcast, okay, babe?
Yes, sir.
Don't do that. Thank you. She loved me, y'all. My baby love me, my baby love me, my baby love me. She want my body.
I really need you all to see. If you have not seen,
what were we even talking
please.
about? Oh, you're talking about what love is.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Did you want to wrap that up?
So yeah, I do love you, and I knew that before you said it first.
Oh, you gotta pick that up there, huh?
But
I was just trying to get them draws. No, I'm joking.
and did it work? Did not. But what I'm saying is, absolutely, because you asked me a question. The question was, are you loving someone, or is love, like, are you supposed to love without looking to be loved in return? Is that what you?
Oh, that's what I was.
That's what you were interpreting. Yeah. So I definitely agree. You should definitely be loved back. But when you set out to love someone, or when you begin to love someone, it is not based on you saying, okay, I can love now because I think it's going to be returned. It's a risk. You like, before you even realize that you have been displaying love or showing love, you already started doing it before you even realize or know if you're going to get it back. That's all I got right now on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. With the part, it sounds like you say that love is a conscious choice. Is that what you're saying, or no?
No. So what I was saying in that part was love was like you are choosing to love someone unconsciously. Like, so unconsciously you begin loving someone before you even make up in your mind, like, I want to love this person. You already unconsciously begin doing it.
Okay.
But your conscious decision, yes, you make that choice to keep showing up, to keep loving, to keep, So the two play hand in hand, but I do believe unconsciously you begin loving someone before you truly intend or realize the risk of
love is a difficult term. It's a difficult concept to grasp in general. And I've pondered the concept of love a long time, and I still don't think I have a really solid definition of it. But what I've come up to at this point in my life, and it could change, is that I think that love is a decision. I don't think that it is a feeling. I think that there are many feelings that could be used to describe the feelings that you feel when you decide to love someone. But I do think that love is a conscious choice. I think love is a conscious choice because it is a commitment. It's work. It's daily work. It's renewing the passion. But bottom line, it's a constant decision. It's a choice, and it's going to take work. Feelings fade over time. Love is not going to fade, because just by definition, the definition that I gave you, it's not going to fade because it's a conscious decision to love this person through the hard time. That's why you take the marriage vows. I'm going to love you through the thick and the thin. I think that love is a conscious decision. I don't think that is a feeling. Like, you feel feelings of infatuation. You feel like, empathy and, heartbreak and, joy and jealousy and happiness and,
Absolutely.
Excitement. And I think those are all feelings, but I don't think that you can describe love in terms of feeling words, because I think that it's more than that. It's a choice. It's a decision. The only true love that is not I guess it could be a choice for some people, but for me and for most normal people, true love is for your children, and your parents, people that you would lay your life down and die for. That type of love doesn't normally come along between two partners. You can develop into that, but romantic love is a little bit different than the love that you have for your kids or your parents and that type of thing.
Well, there's two things that you said that I really love, because you was out here dropping gems on them. Okay, drop them. Let's drop them, eh? Drop them.
I drop it every once in a while.
Dropping them on them. But the thing that you said about, like, love being work daily, and I think a lot of the times people want love without the work. They want the results of love. They want to, like, just be in it and get all, like, the benefits of it and stuff, but not really do the work in it. So I think that that is essential in relationships and marriages and like all of the above. Like it is a job. Like you have to come home and still work. Like you feel like, okay, I already worked 9 hours or 12 hours or 24 for some people. And you're like, nah, I gotta come home. I mean, I still gotta work. Like I gotta try to make us work. When I don't really feel like doing it, yes, you do. So I think that so I think that that is like amazing, the part that you said with that on, and I definitely agree with you with like the love of like, you know, your children or like like your parents and stuff. And I feel that even in this, like I've been blessed to sit down with some really like dope people, or to see them like in marriages for 20 years and young people like they got married, let's say at 18 or whatever, and to see like that type of love that you're describing, to say like I would do anything for like this man, this woman, that is like real love. Like that is for better or for worse, like till death do us part. Like that is, I'm riding, like whatever it is, like and all of your stuff that I didn't even know you had when you first came, I'm riding with you. Like we riding like 4 flats on a Cadillac, like we in there. So I think that when people are thinking about real love, think really about what you're willing to give, what you are willing to sacrifice, what you are willing to do, and not like, because love is unselfish, it's like selfless. So
yeah, by definition, for sure.
By definition, for sure. So you said it's a decision. So I have a question for you. So you just decided to love me? Like you just made that decision one day, or how did that work?
Yeah, it was definitely just a decision. Yeah, I decided that, you know, I'm going to just focus on you, and I'm not gonna worry about any outside factors, and just go from here, for sure.
All right.
Doesn't mean that it's gonna work out. You know, I'm not so arrogant to think that, you know, things can't happen in the future. But yeah, it was a decision, for sure. I mean, there's always feelings involved, you know.
Oh yeah.
But that's not what I define love as, you know, because if you define love based on feelings, then you can just say that you really like this person, because very, very, very strong like is the same feeling as love.
I agree with you.
So it's almost impossible to determine, do I really, really like this person a lot?
Right.
Or do I love this person? Because the feelings are the same. So it only turns into love, in my opinion, when you make that decision. That I'm going to love this person.
Love it.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of rolls into like the next thing. This is not like our closing questions or anything, but oftentimes people really look at red flags.
Okay.
Like, oh, I see red flags or whatever.
In terms of what?
Like in a relationship, in love, or in dating or whatever. They're looking at red flags before they determine if, you know, they'll move on or whatever. But what I really enjoyed seeing over I would even say like the last year or two, when people are focusing on the green flags, things that are giving them like
focusing on the positive instead of the
positive, like what makes me feel like I want to move forward with this person.
We always see the red flags and know why we should disqualify somebody, but what things do you see that you say, you know what, this is a catch right here? That's what you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay, go for it. Give me some green flags.
So I think green flags sometimes take you realizing what you did not receive previously, and to see if this is different. Like something about this is different. Like maybe I can't put like my finger on it. Something about this is different. Something about this feels good that I wanted or needed and didn't know that I needed. And that's a green flag. That is a sign that I need to move forward with this. Like I should see more. I want to see more of what this is about.
Got any examples?
Example, let's see. Yeah, I do have one. So for instance, I think that it's really important for in dating, in a relationship, in marriage, that each partner, each person feels heard. And I know that in relationships or in dating, sometimes you can feel like you're not heard. Like, I keep trying to tell this person, like, this is what I'm feeling, or this is what and I'm told, like, okay, you're doing too much, or you're overreacting, or you sure, like, it's just you had a bad day at work or whatever. So really not listening and feeling what that person is saying. But if you are in something new and you're like, man, like, I can talk to him. Like, I really, like, I feel like this is my friend. Like, I feel open to sharing my thoughts, and I feel like it's a safe place, a safe space. That is a green flag, because you did not, like, you notice in your past relationships or your past, like, dating experiences or whatever, you didn't feel that, or you did not have that same openness. So now that you do, then that's a green flag. You should move upon that. You should see, like, what is this about? Like, I like this. And it's okay to like something and not have it before, because sometimes people may even look at that like, nah, that's a red flag, because ain't nobody just gonna listen.
All right, I guess you can interpret that.
Right, like, nobody just not gonna listen to me just because, like, he really
he trying to get something.
right, he really not hearing me. Like, this is gonna end like next week or whatever. But to say, okay, you know what, this could be something good. He could be a good communicator. He could literally be interested in knowing about my day, knowing, you know, what makes me smile, knowing, like, what makes me cry, or what makes me, you know, whatever. So yes, absolutely pay attention to those things, because if you do not, what happens is you will recycle the same experience until you learn the lesson.
Bars.
And I'm telling y'all.
Hey y'all, if y'all need a coaching session, she's a life coach. Go to the iPumpPower.com, book a session, change your life. We got what's that? Ayana, change your life. It's gonna be Shaquetta, change your life.
It's one right here. And I just want y'all to know, when you go to the website, they did it for me.
If you want to talk to me, free of charge. It's gonna cost a lot of money. All right, I'll holler at you for free.
15. All he got is 15 minutes.
We can chop it up.
15 minutes, no coins left behind. We are coming for everything in 2021. Okay. But no, like, seriously. So I think that's a green flag. That is something that you should realize and see.
That's a glaring green flag for sure. Green flags for me, when a woman can laugh at herself, huge green flag. If we make a joke and she doesn't catch an attitude, but instead she kind of laughs and maybe she even gives it back to me, huge green flag.
Right, somebody huge.
Someone who can hold an intellectual conversation, green flag. Someone who is not, someone who is cooperative, friendly, understanding, not overly argumentative. Yeah, I mean, you check off all those boxes. So
it's like green. I see it, green.
It was just very easy for you to come in, and you didn't cause any disruption. It was all peaceful. Still is peaceful. It hasn't been a burden having you in my life, and that's a huge green flag.
I mean, I think that's dope.
Yeah.
Just like it's dope that it's about me. But seriously speaking, like, man, I think that's good. Vulnerable moment.
Now, don't switch up on me now, though. Don't switch up on me and be like, just start nagging and like, oh, I got your ass now.
So that goes back to the safe space. Now, I shouldn't bring stuff to you over and over again. However, if there are things that comes up and I'm like, hey, babe, I need you to listen to me, hear me out. This is how I'm feeling. This is whatever. There's a difference between nagging and really sitting down and saying, like, this is something that is bothering her, or this is something that is, like, is tugging at her. And I think that that's a difference. And so sometimes we have to learn how to communicate those things. But that's going to go into like the closing question that I have, for us or whatever. But
green flags. I think we can actually expound upon that just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let me have some time to do that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Can you remember this?
Yeah.
I want you to remember the
All
question.
Right, go ahead.
Because I wanted to say on the part where you were saying like the burden and not like having that burden, like being there. So a vulnerable moment for me is I know that in past, like, dating relationships and stuff, I am a person that I will try to accommodate my person. Like, I want them to feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want them to feel at peace. I want them to like, because I feel like everybody comes with something. And I don't think that me doing that is like I'm just doing this because it's my boo. It's because like that's who I am as a person. But I can also say that in relationships or in dating sometimes that I personally have gotten so engulfed in making sure like they were good that I put myself, like my needs, wants, desires, because I'm like, I want to make sure like, you're good. Like I'm showing up. I'm like, I'm here. Like I want you to know. But so I'm saying that for that person to say, when you're looking at the green flags, make sure that you're not just giving green flags, but you're being a receiver of green flags. So I can give you, and you see the green flags, but I need to also look and be like, we giving each other.
It has to be worth it, basically.
Like we have, exactly. Yeah. We have to be on both ends, like the giving and the receiving end of that. And I think that has been one of the green flags with you, is I feel like it's been a two-way street. If you're not watching, I'm doing like I'm showing these flags, like it's been something that I feel like we're giving green flags, both receiving green flags, and not just like, oh, I'm giving, I'm doing this work, I'm showing up, I'm doing this, but not receiving it.
Yeah, awesome. We just skipped my question because actually that took up enough time. So
I was like, wait,
yeah.
We can definitely go into it.
Okay, well, I was gonna ask you, like, we're talking about green flags, and in relation to green flags, basically green flags are things that you like, right? Positive things. So I guess my question for you is, and you don't have to even speak for yourself, you can speak on behalf of all women if you want, but what are the top, let's say top three things that women want from a man?
Well, I can't speak for all women, because I think that a hurting woman might want something different from a man.
But let's just say, in general, just a normal woman. It's just your average woman in general.
I would say quality time. I would say you want someone that's going to reciprocate. Like you want reciprocity. And 3, man, you want someone that's going to cover you. And when I use the word cover, to me that is like taking protection to another level. And when I say protection, I mean not just like physically, because like if you're with a big man, like a muscular man, you feel protected when you're out with them or whatever. Or like I know, and you do this, like if we're walking, like you're gonna push me on the inside, like so that's a sense of like covering, like you're wanting to make sure like protection, whatever, but not just like a physical protection, but like you will protect my heart. And that's how, because again, everybody has some type of baggage, everybody, like, so you're going to protect the part of me that I really haven't allowed anybody else to see. Because, you know, even living in the limelight or living like as a public person, and I'm not speaking for me because I feel like, I don't think I'm a public figure or anything, but you do have like celebrities and they have to feel a certain level of protection with their significant other. So I think that is something that for sure the third top thing that I think a woman is looking for, because a lot of women aren't looking for someone to save them.
You said they're not?
No.
Okay.
Like I'm like not looking for, you know, someone to come like rescue them and just be there. It's like, you know, because a lot of like women can be like self-efficient and can provide and do things like a certain level of quality of life. So it's more so of like that quality time is like reciprocity and protection, like protecting me, protecting my value, protecting my peace, protecting like how you would want to protect your children or protect like your like the most precious thing to you. I want to feel like that's how you look at me and you want to protect me too.
Okay, that's good. I think for men, the top three things that we look for.
I feel like I know one of them. But go ahead and give it.
What do you think the
give
first
me
one
all
is?
three. Respect.
Respect is huge. Respect is huge. But I guess, like you said, it does matter. But I guess what I'm referring to is like in the beginning.
Gotcha.
In the beginning, because
okay.
in the beginning you don't know if they have all these qualities.
Okay.
So that's what I was kind of referring
Okay.
to.
So in the beginning, gotcha. I guess I was on this whole like when you're looking
when you're
at
choosing your
real
mate.
love.
When you're choosing your mate, what are you choosing? Like, what are the criteria? Top three criteria.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to go back into that because like I said, I thought that we were on like when you're talking like real love or whatever. Because in the beginning, I think what you're looking for in the beginning phases could be much different from what you're looking for like in real love.
So like for you, for example, those are things, and men want deep things like that as well. You know? But you first have to pass the initial qualifications.
Because
those things like that don't matter if you don't have the initial qualifications to begin with. And the same, I believe, goes for women. Those things don't matter unless you have the initial qualifications to get to that point. So
I agree.
The resume has to be good before you get the interview.
Oh no, I agree.
Or the job too. So I think for men, what we look for, the first one is attractiveness and physicality. Men want an attractive woman. I mean, obviously there's outliers, but in mass, men want an attractive woman. We want a friendly woman. And we want a cooperative woman.
Dope. Yeah.
I think those are three things that I know that
you as a man, right? For sure.
And most men, I can confidently speak for most men. Obviously, there are outliers, and you have your what do they call your social justice, like your feminist men who are gonna just pander to women, your Derek Jacksons of the world. But I think this is what most men want.
I couldn't. There's nothing in that I would disagree with, because I definitely think that those are important like characteristics and traits, you know, to see. I do think that this is going to lead to what I want to make sure that we pull that out, the friendly part out. I want to make sure that we pull that out for an episode that we cover on like friend zoning, because I do think that it's a fine line. I know for me personally, and just speaking on that, I do think that is something that does.
You be friend zoning people?
I can. Yeah,
You're probably the queen of friend zoning somebody, aren't you?
Yeah, I have done that, and I was saying that because
so you just like the homie. You like the
right, because I can be. I had like a lot of men previously have been attracted to me because they have like, you know, like she just like so cool, like she's like like my friend first or whatever.
Right.
And I think that is important, but how much of a friend do you want me to be?
Right.
Like, I feel like you have to also distinguish that, yeah, you my friend, but I'm not just trying to be your friend.
Oh yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's,
but
that's for any relationship. The man, you have to make it a man to woman relationship.
Yeah.
It's not, if that's what you want, you have to let it know that
yeah.
this is a man to woman relationship.
Yeah.
This is not me and my boy.
Right.
We're
We
not
are just kicking it like,
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah, you know.
So I thought about that because I think you and I had like off, you know, camera and just getting to know one another. I think we've had a conversation about like how or why do women end up friend zoning people. So I do want us to let you all know that is an episode that is coming because
everything's coming.
Yeah,
Look,
man. Like
everything's
seriously.
coming. So we don't know when it's
seriously.
coming, but we're gonna
But
talk about everything that you can possibly talk about.
It's coming.
Probably 2 times.
It's coming, y'all, for real.
Okay.
So closing.
Good. Closing question. All right. Perfect.
How do you handle your partner's insecurities?
How do you handle your partner's insecurities? You tell them to put their big girl panties on and get over it. No.
Y'all heard him?
How do you handle your partner's insecurities? You just the same way you handle anybody's insecurities that you love. You help them through it. You be honest with them because some insecurities are valid. And but you try to lift them up. And if you love them through their insecurity, you need to let them know that we still love you. You can point out their positive qualities. You can help them get over the things that they're insecure with. But I think that's really all you can do is just let them know that why are you so worried about this insecurity if I'm not worried about your insecurity? You know, I'm your man. I'm the one who loves you. So what you worried about this insecurity for? I think it's great. You know, unless of course you don't think it's great.
Right.
And you're like, well, babe, we need to work on this.
Right,
you know,
right,
I still
right.
love you, but we gotta get this
part,
fixed.
yeah.
This ain't gonna work.
I think that's really dope.
Yeah.
For me, how would I handle my partner's insecurity?
Like for me, like I have my toenails, like they grow probably about 1 inch a week, and I just don't ever feel like cutting them. So they get really big, and I get insecure about those. What you gonna do? How you gonna help me handle this insecurity?
I'm gonna say, baby, I love those long toenails, and if we need to go,
See how long?
yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, they long. Look at that jump. Whew. Gotta get that. You clip my nails for me, man?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, y'all. If you're watching, he literally just took his
You gotta
toes out the shoes and said,
I'm just showing
"This
you.
is my insecurities." But I think that I've done my job so far, is that he felt comfortable.
Yeah, you definitely. This is my safe space. It's my safe space. You created a safe space for me.
Right, and that's my thing. I feel like that's what I would have to do for my partner, is to create a safe space for him to feel comfortable saying like, this is like an insecurity for me. And as easy as that just rolled off the tongue, that is not always easy for people. It's to really like reveal and to really say like, this is an insecurity.
Have I ever scratched with my toenails? I'm bad about that. I'll cut an artery with my toenails for real. You gotta be careful. So it's really for your own protection.
For my
that you
own.
cut my nails. Right. I don't want you to bleed out in the middle of the night.
Oh my God, y'all. Listen, the humor, okay? The humor that comes with it. Yeah, so
I'm
that
being serious. What are you
he
talking about?
is. But that is a real life, insecurity. But I do feel like there are some that are going to be even harder for people to like reveal or to share or to even realize is an insecurity until it actually happens.
Yeah.
Like, because they're triggers. There's trauma, so there's things that people didn't even realize that it's a trigger, or it wasn't an insecurity in any other relationship or dating experience, but this is something new, and maybe it is bringing a certain level of insecurity out.
I think if you're in a relationship and you can get through a relationship without adding any more insecurities to yourself, I think you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Oh no, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But and sometimes I don't even think that it could be that you added an insecurity. And maybe it was like something in the delivery or something like not something that you like actually did or something you do on a constant basis. It could have been just something really small that triggered something that from your childhood
underlying
for
issue that you're already
exactly.
insecure about. You're just exposing what's already insecure about.
Exactly, and that needs attention. It needs.
You're like, hey, don't talk about my corn on my foot. I'm very sensitive about that.
I'm sensitive about that.
Okay.
Like, for me, it's one of them would be keloids. Like, I have keloids, and
we just call them beauty marks and press on.
Like that feels good to hear, and so, but it still would be for me like, ugh, no, like I might keep pulling my my joints down or whatever, or if let's say it's on your arm or something and you go to like just kind of rub in the air and I'm just like, to you it may come off like I don't want you to touch me, but it's because that is an insecurity. So how like I have to feel like you just said, like, they know that's a beauty mark. Then it's like, okay, like that gives me a little like,
just good kiss it and lick it and all that good stuff. Like, give me that keloid.
Give it here.
Give me that keloid, girl.
Oh my God.
Bring that keloid over here.
But yeah, just know that they're gonna come up. Like you're gonna have insecurities.
We all have insecurities.
We all have them.
We all have them. I think your job as a partner is to not give your partner any more insecurities. And I'm not gonna sit here and preach to you guys as if I've lived a life where I didn't mess up like that. But I realize that's not the right thing to do.
Yeah, and we learned like if you are the same person today that you were like,
if you're the same person today that you were like 20 years ago, you just wasted 20 years of life.
Yeah, you should grow and you should see like growth. You should see differences and say, you know what? Yeah, like I could have handled that like differently.
And that's the thing about like this whole you contradicting yourself. Well, you should contradict yourself because you're growing. You're growing. So if you don't contradict yourself, then you've never changed your thoughts on anything. Yeah. So
your past should be contradictory to you, like your present. It really should be. You should look at it like, this is not the same dude, or this is not the same woman, or like, so absolutely, I definitely agree with you. It should contradict like who you are now or who you're becoming, because this is an ever evolving process. This is not like, I got it together now, this is what you got, this is my, no, it's a process. It's ever.
Life is there is no final destination in life other than death. Okay, so if you're waiting to get to this point, it's not going to happen because there's going to be a point after that. So you should always be growing. Life is a process of growth.
It's a journey.
It's an absolute journey.
Babe, this was good.
Good?
I think this was really good, honestly. We out. And awesome. I just want to tell them that
I do have one thing I need to say though real quick before we close this out.
Yeah.
I have a military background. I retired from the Air Force 22 years ago, and I got news that one of my best friends from the military, Shu, is in the hospital. He's on life support, kidney problems, all kind of issues, and this is probably my best friend, probably one of the best guys that anyone could ever meet. Does anything for anybody. Everybody likes him. Just a people person, just a really good person, and to hear about him being in this state is just so crazy. It's so mind blowing, and to know that right now he's hanging on to an inch of his life is just it's heartbreaking. And put a prayer out there for him. Keep him in your thoughts. You don't know him probably, but my best friend, I met him early on in my Air Force career, over 20 years. So it's pretty bad. But so we put that out there in the universe that we're thinking about him.
So like we prayed for him.
And I'm not a religious person, but I'll throw a prayer out there. It's no problem.
Absolutely, as you should, and I am, and I do believe in when 2 and 3 come together, we touch and agree. And so I'm going to ask. We're going to close out in prayer for sure. And if you're watching, you're hearing, all we need you to do is say amen. We just need you to say amen, okay?
Let's do it.
That's what we're going to do. Shoot, this is for you because we are believing for you. And I know, maybe you feel tired because you've been fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe someone will let him hear this and it'll touch him.
Mm-hmm.
Or again, if you're watching and like you got a direct answer to God. You can call him, pick up the phone, and get him on the line. We need you to do it. So
All right.
I'm going to do a quick prayer. All right. So Heavenly Father, God, we come just saying thank you, God. We thank you for the life that Shu has lived, God. We thank you because we know that you can and do and will do all things but fail, God. So right now we ask that you travel wherever he is, God, and just speak a fresh breath of air into his body, God, and just healing and peace, and just know that he is not alone, God. We ask that everyone that is listening and that's tuning in will touch and agree and just speak on his behalf, believe on his behalf, because maybe he does not believe right now because of what he's seeing, God. But we trust and believe and know that you can and believe that you will. And in your name, not for a long prayer, but we count it done now and forevermore.